is Monday, March 9th, and I'm Jena Carpenter. I'm here to talk about the astrology vibes for this week, which, again, we all knew that March was going to be pretty intense. And here we are, March 9th, plugging away here towards the middle of the month. And we are seeing the intensity of these vibes with everything that's going on in the world. We have been working with Saturn and Neptune, which moved into Aries a little while ago, the sign of war. And over the weekend, Venus crossed over that threshold, that 0 point of Aries, the world point, to join them there. And so some of what we've been seeing is illusions melting away and new structures starting to appear. Seeing these conflicts between illusion and reality, between structures that we thought we could rely on, but now we may be realizing they weren't what we thought. And as Venus has joined these two energies there, we now have three different energies. Venus brings a little bit more of an emphasis on financial systems, on wealth, on money, on finances, on partnerships, relationships, maybe a little bit more of a harmonious vibe, although Venus does not really love to be in Aries. So she might not be super happy there, but hopefully she is helping to bring a little bit more balance, diplomacy, hopefully, to some of what we see going on in the world. But let's talk about how all this is going to affect our personal lives, because that is something that we each have control over. And I would encourage you guys to read my weekly post that I published yesterday, where I talk about how we can maintain presence with our heart coherence and continue to envision peace rather than letting our energy get sucked into this frenzy of war, stress, and anxiety. One of the best things that we can each do is hold the coherence and the possibility for peace, for diplomacy, for balance, and for letting go of some of these aggressive, warlike rhetorics that our leaders are very attached to right now. However, we all know that our own vision is powerful and our own mind is powerful. And so for each one of us in this community, I would really love if you would join me. I started a challenge yesterday to meditate on peace at least once every time in my days for the next week. And I'd love for you guys to join me in that. And let's see if we can shift some of this energy to a better place. So let's dive into this week's astrology. Like we said, Venus has moved into Aries. So we now see Venus sandwiched right in the middle between Neptune and Saturn in our chart this week. And Saturn has passed Neptune and is starting to move further ahead. So we may be starting to see a little bit of these more illusionary, foggy feelings melt away and starting to see a little bit more of the reality of the new reality that's coming in to fruition here. So our perspective is expanding and moving towards understanding, a little more understanding of this new vision and this new world that we're seeing here. We have Jupiter stationed today, and he's going to go direct tomorrow. And Jupiter today is trine to the North Node and trine to Mercury retrograde. So today is kind of a beautiful pausing moment where we can reconsider these last messages and the input, the feedback that we've been getting during this Mercury retrograde as we reflect on this new vision, this new dream that we're all building and calling into the physical world. And that trine energy with Jupiter is a beautiful, harmonious kind of a flow in that direction. And then tomorrow around 8:30 p.m. for us here in the Pacific in California, and a little bit later than that for the East Coast time, Jupiter is going to move direct, which is going to be very exciting. He will still be in that trine position as he goes direct. And so we are definitely going to start to see some expansion and some growth and things starting to evolve a little bit more in the directions that they're moving into. So we're we're looking at Mars is also this week moving towards conjunction with the North Node, with our fate and our destiny. We've talked about Mars as being a planet of forward momentum and acceleration. It is also a warlike planet, and we are seeing those themes play out with Mars so close to the North Node. I think that is for sure affecting some of these world events and global events that we're seeing. But Mars in a pure form is just energy, momentum, forward motion. So we're starting to see this acceleration towards our soul destiny, our highest destiny. And we have that passion and that drive from Mars coming to conjunct the North Node. So we have an opportunity here to use our own heart coherence towards making our destiny happen. And on a personal level, let's each one of us think about where we want to be visualizing that energy growing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be tinged by events that we can't control. Let's keep our vision honed in on what we really want to bring to life. So let's kind of go a little bit into the deep. So we are still working with healing from that lunar eclipse energy that we had early last week. I can't believe it's only been less than a week since we had that blood moon lunar eclipse. And that was with the South Node in Virgo. So it was looking a lot at transmuting karmic patterns and looking at the shadow sides of Mercury, which is the ruler of Virgo. So difficulty communication, butting heads, messages trying to go through which aren't really clear. Those are some of those shadow sides that may have come up around that. And we are still working with those energies as Mercury is still retrograde. So today, on Monday, we may be seeing some of those world events showing those shadows of Virgo moving forward. Monday, Tuesday, we're starting to feel some momentum building with Mars coming closer to the North Node in Pisces, that dreamy, mystical sign. That momentum is starting to build a little bit, but there may be a little bit of unsettled vibes today. And one of the strongest things that we can do is stop resisting. Listen to any messages that are coming in for us personally and move towards that growth that we're being called towards. The less that we resist, the more easily we're going to flow. And then we're eased by that nice trine with Jupiter today. So we have that. On Monday, let's see. Yeah, that's a little bit what we're going to feel Monday. And moving into Tuesday, we are going to see Tuesday afternoon the moon square to Mars and into the evening. And that moon has moved into Sagittarius. So we may be seeing a little bit of conflict there. And that might be in areas relating to our beliefs and our philosophy. Again, as we look at these world events, where are we in harmony with our deepest beliefs and what we're aiming towards in the world? And where are we feeling dissonance? And how can we put more energy towards the harmony than we're putting towards the dissonance? Those are some of the questions that I'm asking myself as I move through this current world that we're living in. On Wednesday, we are going to see Mars coming closer to that conjunction with the North Node. So again, calling us with this fiery, passionate energy towards our highest self, towards our destiny, towards our own karmic path. And then Wednesday night, our moon's going to move into Capricorn. And we're going to see a sextile with that moon to all of our little stellium of planets that are still in Pisces that we've been talking about. So we're looking the energy of Wednesday and Thursday. It might feel a little bit crunchy there, but we are overall moving towards our soul growth. And it's a very pivotal time for that. We're at this moment in the world where everything is completely changing, and each one of us needs to find in our own lives where we can harness our own power. We can visualize that path that we want to be growing onto, and then we can put our attention there and spend more time with that attention there than on energies which we don't want to be encouraging in the world. So maybe as we move into the middle of the week, a little less time watching headlines and watching videos of what's going on, and a little more time meditating on what we want to be bringing into reality and what we want to be creating. Um, on Saturday, we're going to see the moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. And so, with that motion, with our emotions joining Pluto, our planet representing transformation and rebirth and the deeper mysteries of life and death, of what we're here for, of a deep understanding that we're all here for transformation and evolution towards the path of our souls. It might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but we're basically looking for integration there. So where can we bring everything together on a path, believing that we're going in the right direction? There's a bigger picture and a higher pattern that we may not see yet that's supporting us through everything that the world is going through right now. And by the time we get to the weekend, we're going to be feeling some heart-opening vibes to help support us. Again, the weekend is it's going to be very interesting. So on Saturday and Sunday, Lucifer, the asteroid Lucifer, which is a very dark energy, as far as the energy that he brings, is going to be right with the South Node, moving with the South Node. So we may be again feeling more of that Virgo South Node energy, OCD, anxiety, stress, wanting to control things. We may feel some of that energy over the weekend. And just remember, that's our signal to tap into our own divine guidance. Remember that we are each here with a larger purpose in mind, and that we're all moving towards the highest representation of who we're here to be and what we're here to create. And overall, my belief is that we are here to create coherence and love and harmony and compassion. And so the more that we can meditate on those energies this week, the more that will help to bring those energies into the collective for everybody and help to transmute some of the darker energies that are moving on a global level right now. That's about all that I'm going to go into for now. I want to try to keep these short so that people get a chance to listen throughout it and see how they can prepare for these energies through the week. And I'm going to start next week, including a little write-up of the important transits for the week with my weekly astrological forecast. I just had a little bit of family issues come up today, so I apologize for being later than usual. In general, on these lives, I'm going to try to go live every Monday at 11. I will spend about 15 or 20 minutes going into the astrological energy and the transits for the week, hopefully helping to open all of our minds and energies to a little bit of what we might expect from the week and how we can kind of flow with that smoothly to have the most optimal experience and at least be forewarned if there's going to be some challenging energies coming up. So I'm looking forward to joining with you all in meditation for peace every single day this week. I might go live but in the middle of the week to do a little guided meditation with everybody. And I hope you are all getting a beautiful start to your week. I will see you all very soon.